No?
Hello? Yes, Krishna, you're audible.
Okay, okay. Okay, so then thank you for your confirmation. So I hope we are in the second topic and that too, so we completed all the configuration. Especially yesterday we did some configuration which is
Confirm.
related to the controlling part as well. Okay. So these are all the settings yesterday we maintained and most of the configurations is already available in the system. But anyway, so we need to cross check one more time each and every setting. So before we created the GL accounts and before we posted the general entries into the system. See, especially in ECC, so we don't have this much of steps. Even yesterday also I explained you. So in ECC system, once we did this step, directly we can create the GL account and directly we will post the general entry. Okay. But when it comes to the SAP S4HANA system, so we know especially the major changes, we can see the ledger settings and the currency settings as well. These are the major changes. We can see the changes between the ECC to SAP S4HANA. So because of that, we need to check all these predefined steps before we created the GL accounts. And yesterday we maintained these are all steps in the system. Okay. So now we need to go to the creation of GL accounts and later we will post one general entry today. Okay.
Okay.
And basically in SAP we have three types of data before I created GL accounts. So from the functional point of view, so we have three types of data in SAP. Okay, so I'm not talking about the technical point of view. Okay, so from the functional point of view, majorly we have three types of data. So the first one is the master data, and the second is the transactional data, and the third is the configuration data.
Okay.
So even some members they call as some configuration slash customization data also. Some members they treat it as configuration data separately and customization data separately. But we
Okay.
can consider both are same only. Okay. And especially the master data is nothing but so in
Mm.
SAP, so we have different types of master data based on the respective functional module. Okay. And especially where we can avoid the repetitive work. So why we use the master data in the SAP to avoid the repetitive work basically. So it
Oh,
means so there is a example. For example, there is a one customer, and this is the daily customer, and he came to our business and he is purchasing some items. So at the time of invoice, so every time we need to maintain some customer details like customer name, customer phone number, customer email address. Some details we need to maintain daily. So to avoid this repetitive nature of work in SAP, so we have a solution like master data. So basically master data we created one time and we've used the multiple times. Okay. So instead of I'm giving every time all the details related to the customer. Okay. So just I will create customer master data and the SAP will provide one number to the every customer master data. Already I told you in number ranges concept also. Any master data, any transactional data, the SAP will provide the number. Basically, this is the number is the identification to the particular customer master data to the particular transaction data into the SAP system. So likewise, so to avoid the repetitive work, so we created the master data into the system. And when it comes to the finance part, so basically we have two types of master data. One is the GL master data, and the second is the asset master data. So we can see the asset master data at the time of asset accounting chapter, but now we are main focusing on the GL master data. So And the next data. So before I explained GL master data, so the next data is the transactional data. Transactional data is nothing but whatever the day-to-day entries we posted in the system, like the daily transactions, we treat it as a transactional data. Okay. So once we completed all these settings, so today we will post one general entry also. So
Okay.
usually whatever the general entries we posted in the system, so that general entries and all we are called as a transactional data. And when it comes to the configuration, so until now we did many settings in the SAP system from starting enterprise structure to till date. So we maintain so many settings in the system, right? So that and all we are called as a configuration data. Okay. And when
Okay.
it comes to the customization data, so even in SAP, we have a enhancement feature. For example, if our client is not satisfied with the standard functionality of SAP, so then again we did some customization as well based on the business requirement. So that time in at the time of enhancement, whatever we maintain some customization part into the systems. So simply we call as a customization data. So likewise,
Okay.
being a functional consultant in SAP, we need to know. So majorly we have three types of data: master data, transactional data, and configuration slash customization data. And when it comes to the master data is nothing but we can create one time in the system and we can use the multiple times. And where it comes to the transactional data is nothing but the day-to-day business transactions what we posted into the system. And configuration, so before we posted any transactional data or any master data, we need to maintain some settings into the system, the prerequisite settings. So simply that and all settings or that and all things we call as a configuration data. And again, the customization data is nothing but when we are going with the enhancement based on the business requirement. If the business is not satisfied with the standard functionality of SAP, so we need to change the standard functionality as well. So even SAP is a customizing software, we can do n number of customizations into the system. So in that case, so this one we are called as a the customization data, whatever the configuration we maintained at the time of enhancement. So that and all we call as a customization data. So now in the finance part, so majorly we have two types of master data we can see here. So one is the GL master data and the second is the asset master data. And when it comes to the GL master data, okay.
Mm.
So usually in general terminology, we call as rent account, right? Rent account is a one item in the manual accounting. And
Yes.
if it is a bank accounting, then we call as a bank account. And if it is a salaries, then we call as a salaries account in general terminology. So when it comes to the SAP terminology, these things we need to call as a GL account. Okay, so in SAP application, so these things we need to call as a rent GL account and bank GL account and salaries GL account. And once we created these GL accounts, so in upcoming days, like once we created these are all master data into the system, we can use n number of times by these GL accounts. There is no limitation. So daily we posted n number of entries into the system. So we can use these GL accounts. Once we created the GL accounts, the end users will use these GL accounts and they will post the general entries into the system. So that is the GL master data in SAP. Okay. So I
Okay.
think Giri in maybe Giri in another meeting. Okay. So now how we will maintain the
No, no, I'm
GL
very much
master
clear.
data?
Is it not showing me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Giri. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I had some network issues. I think it got restored.
Okay, okay, done, done. Okay. So now I want to create some GL master datas in my system. So here I need to go with the FS00 T code. Okay, so the transaction code is FS00.
Okay.
So here I need to create basically here I want to post one general entry. So this general entry is nothing but rent account data to bank account. Okay. So this journal entry I want to post in the system. Let's say amount is 10K. Okay. So how I will post this journal entry into the system? So the point is I need to create first rent GL master data and I need to create bank GL master data, and later I will go for the postings. Okay. So for
Yeah.
that purpose, so I need to create that rent GL account and that bank GL account by using FS00 transaction code. But
Okay.
before I created this one, so I need to check my account group. So earlier we created OBD4 account group. And what is our chart of accounts? Is it K100? Yeah.
Yes.
So in K100, we maintained the GL accounts groups in OBD4 earlier. And here we mentioned the number ranges from the GL account so and so number to so and so number, it belongs to so and so group. So likewise in OBD4 we mentioned earlier, especially in this place, the second point here. In OBD4 already we maintained this setting, right? So
Yes.
with the help of this setting, see for example, if I want to create the rent GL account, okay. So then rent GL account is belongs to, let's say for example, I will consider this one, the administrative expense. Okay. So now I need to take this number. So 2,70,000. So now I need to go to create, and here I need to maintain 2,70,000 and my company code is K100. Click on continue. Okay. So basically in GL master data, we need to maintain three tabs. So the first tab is the type description tab, and the second tab is control data tab, and the third tab is create bank interest tab. These three tabs we need to maintain in every GL account. So in
Okay.
type description tab, first we need to maintain the GL account type. So even this is also the main difference between ECC to SAP S/4HANA system. In ECC, what happened? We have two type of GL account types only we have earlier. One is the P&L account and the second is the balance sheet. But when it comes to the SAP S/4HANA, we have five type of GL account types is there in the system. Okay. So out of this, here I selected non-operating expenses or income. Rent I treated as some non-operating expenses or income. And here I mentioned my account group. What we consider the administrative expense, right? So this one I selected as the administration expenses. And here I will maintain rent account. And here in GL long test, I mention rent account. So this is the short test and this is the long test. And especially this is the point where we are connecting the consolidated chart of accounts. So there is a group of company. Under the group of company, we have different company codes. And all the company codes, whatever the GL accounts we maintain. For example, if this GL account we need to connect to the our group GL account, the consolidated GL account. So that the trading partner number we need to maintain here. It means our company we need to select in this place. Okay. So but right now, so that is not required. So usually in real time, so we are connecting our GL account to the our company with this option, the trading partner number option. Okay. So now I
Okay.
need to go to the control data. So in control data, the very important point is the account currency. It means on which account currency we used this GL account, we need to define here. And whether this is in the balances in local currency only or not. For example, if you want to restrict this GL account to the only INR currency transactions, so then we need to select this option. Okay. And next, there is a exchange rate difference key. So here, if you want to maintain some exchange rate differences, so that one also we will maintain, especially the GL accounts. While we are doing the foreign currency revaluation, that type of GL accounts, we need to select the difference key as well. and the valuation group is not required, and the tax category. See, basically, when we created the tax related GL accounts, whether this GL account is related to input tax account or output tax account or any CGST or SGST or whatever it is, or whether it is allowed to the tax or not, this and all we need to select here. Only the GL accounts which represents to the taxation. So that GL accounts we need to select the tax category. And posting
That we
without,
do
yeah.
that we do in the control part. Well, basically, why I'm asking this is
Hmm.
now my control part is fully for the cost purpose. We are
Mhm.
also adding something related to tax. So
Yeah,
I just wanted to understand the
correct.
idea.
Yeah. So see the rent GL account anyway. This is not represents any the taxation part, right? But if it is a sales GL account or if it is a purchase GL account, obviously we need to select the tax category, like input tax or output tax or whatever it is.
Okay. Okay. It's not for the statutory purpose, but for also for the tax cost
Yeah,
purpose. What is tax being spent? Got it.
correct. And even so, there is some GL accounts posting without tax also allowed. This option also we have. Especially for some GL accounts, we need to select this option as well. And here, this is the very important point, the reconciliation account for account type. See, basically, so we have 5 type of account types is there. Already I explained earlier. When it comes to the contract accounts, we have 6 types of accounts, right? And out of that in SAP, we can create majorly these 4 as a recon accounts. Uh, Especially in next chapter in accounts payable, I will explain you what is this reconciliation account and all. So in general ledger accounting, so the reconciliation account type, this and all we didn't maintain. So this one comes under vendor and customers and assets and the contract accounts receivables. And this one, the alternative account number. So what happened? See, earlier our client is used some Oracle Finance application or some MFG Pro or some other ERP tool, and now we are implementing to the SAP S4HANA. So in that case, for our simple understanding for the client, see for example, the rent GL account earlier we maintained in the Oracle Finance system in some number. So that number we can give it here. And the another scenario, for example, so if you want to connect this GL account to the any other alternative account, so we are giving that number also from this place. Okay. And the inflation key, this is also not required, and account management in external system is also not required. And the tolerance group. So already I explained in the tolerance group concept. So if you want to control any some tolerance group of employees to the specific GL account, so already I explained this point. So that time, so already I told you we didn't maintain any tolerance group, right? If we maintained some tolerance group in that place, that tolerance group we need to maintain here. It means whatever the tolerance group we maintained here, only this group of people only will access this GL account. Okay. Next one. So open item management. So the very important point is, so if it is a outstanding expenses or if it is a prepaid expenses, so we need to select this item. So the open item management we need to select. But again, the rent is not a so outstanding expenses are not. And there is a sort key like in SAP. So when we see the general in when we see the GL accounts, so for example, while we are going with some standard report, if we want to see the GL account based on the allocation number or based on the posting date or based on the document date, whatever the sort key we maintained here. So based on that, in that standard reports, we can see the GL accounts. Okay, so even this is also we didn't mention. And again, the authorization group, if you want, we will maintain here. And the clerk abbreviation is nothing important. And even the joint venture accounting and company code also recovery indicator. So if your client is specifically mentioned, we will maintain. So likewise, So generally, this is the mandatory option. This is the mandatory setting, and remaining all are the optional settings only. And again, based on this GL account, these options is vary. Okay, if it is a taxation GL account, then we need to maintain the tax category. Or if you want to restrict this GL account into particular INR currency, then we need to select this option. And some GL accounts, which is represents to the recon accounts with assets, customer, vendors, we need to select any one of item. So likewise, basically based on the GL account, so we need to maintain these are all fields. Okay, these are all fields is not required for every GL account. So based on the GL account nature, we will maintain these are all fields. And the next third tab. So in create bank interest tab, so the very important point is this one, the field status group. So already I explained earlier the field status group. So what is the use of field status group? So while we are posting any transactions into any transactions in the SAP system, if you want to control some fields like this field is mandatory or this field is optional or this field is suppressed. So earlier already I discussed regarding to the field status group. So that field status group we need to maintain here. So usually for these rent GL accounts or this type of GL accounts, we will give the field status group as Z001. This GL, this field status group. And this is the option, especially at the time of Myro or at the time of MyGo. So while we are doing the FIMM integration entries or FISD integration entries, regarding to that GRIR clearing, that type of GL accounts, we need to select this option. It means,
Okay.
so once we selected this option, so based on this option only, so the goods receipt at the time of goods receipt, the finance side account entry is automatically triggered. So that time, so we need to select this option as well. Okay. And the reconcile supplement automatic postings, so this is not required. We didn't use anywhere. And recon account ready for input also we didn't use. And when it comes to the bank and financial details in company code. So for example, if you want to generate the cash flow statement for this GL account, if it is relevant to cash flow, we need to select this item. And if it is this GL account is belongs to some house bank, we need to maintain that house bank and that account ID. And if the GL account is related to some interest related GL account, later we need to select interest indicator and interest calculation frequency like monthly, quarterly, daily, weekly, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or whatever it is. So that and all we need to select here. Okay. See, basically, whatever the fields we can see in the GL master data, it is vary based on our GL account.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, we need to maintain these three things: the type description and the control data and create bank interest tab. So in type description tab, we need to maintain these four options mandatory. And in control tab data tab, this is the mandatory option. And in create bank
Currency.
interest tab, this is the mandatory option. Yes.
Mm.
So now I will click on save. So now my data was saved and I need to check my company code K100. So now you can see my rent GL account is created in this
Mm.
place.
Okay.
Okay. So now I want to post some rent account data to bank account, right? So I need to create
Okay.
one more GL account which represents the bank. So bank is a current asset. Am I correct or not? So bank is a
Yeah.
current asset. I need to take this number 1,80,000. So now I need to go to here, click on create 1,80,000, click on continue. So now this GL account type is balance sheet account. Okay, why? Because the bank balances and all we maintain in the balance sheet.
Mm. What
And
are the
the
other options there? You just show me. I'm just curious.
five
Cash.
options:
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Non-operating.
cash
Primary
account,
cost. Yeah. Secondary cost. Yeah. Got it. Fine.
balance.
Krishna, also have a doubt. Like
Mm,
for rent, we are choosing certain parameters. For cash, we are choosing certain parameters in
mm,
SAP. So while we are doing in what you say real time,
mm.
if we become an SAP consultants, will we be getting a training on all of this, or like, do you have any material
Uh,
with you?
no, one day. See the simple.
Mm.
See, there is a some GL accounts which is related to cash. It means like there is some bank related GL accounts or when we doing the EBS related settings. So that time we need to select the GL accounts. We used this option, the cash account option, which is newly
Okay.
introduced this GL account type. Since 2020 version onwards, we can see this option. Okay. And when it comes
Okay.
to the non-operating expenses or income, so there is some GL accounts which is not represents to the any operating expenses or any operating incomes. So that time we need to select this the second GL account type. And when
No,
it
no.
comes to yeah,
What I'm asking is,
mm,
see, I mean, this is okay. I can choose by seeing the description or something. This is a non-operating or something like that.
mm,
But in control data or keyword or whatever it is, how will I choose? Now, if you go to control data, you're saying that we for certain
mm,
things we can select auto posting for Miro, Migo or something like that.
mm, 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 mm.
So, like I'm asking, for certain things, I have to select certain things. For certain GL accounts, I do not have to select them.
Mm.
So, how will I get to know that while I'm
Yeah,
creating something?
that one. So you need to learn from this training itself, Rakshana. See,
Okay.
whenever that GL account is needed for the recon account, I will maintain.
Mm,
But for this GL account, it is not required. So that's the reason I didn't select any options here.
okay.
Okay, but if this GL account is required so and so setting, so definitely I need to select.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Krishna.
So next, so we have a account group. So the account group is the current asset, right? So the current
Hmm.
asset and this one, so I will maintain as
Rent.
HDFC Bank. So I maintain the bank GL account.
Hmm.
Okay. So in future, I will create the HDFC house bank as well. And again, that time I am connecting my house bank to this GL account. So in bank accounting chapter, so we created the this HDFC house bank. So that time I am connecting my house bank to my GL account as well in upcoming days.
Okay.
Okay. So then I need to go to control data tab. So here we can see here. Here I need to select the balances in local currency. It means for this GL account, so I am allowing to make the payments for only INR currency. In future, so if some user is able to post some entry with USD currency or with some Europe currency or some Australian dollar currency, so the system is not allowed. Why? Because this GL account I am restricted to INR currency only. Okay, so now I selected balances in local currency and I need to go to create bank interest tab and here I need to select the bank account related the field status group. Okay, so now I need to click on save. So now I created two GL accounts. So one is the rent GL account and the second is the HDFC GL account. So now I need to post one general entry into the system, whatever the manually I said. So this entry I need to post into the system. So then, so there is two transaction codes to post the general entries. This is the old T code. So that is the F-02. So here you can see we need to maintain these are all details and here we need to give some account number and we need to click on enter and again another screen is open. That screen we need to maintain some data and we need to save that entry. And apart from this, there is a enjoy transaction in SAP. So that is the FB50 for general entry posting. So we used this transaction code FB50. So the main difference between F-02 and FB50 is See, in F-02, if you are want to post some general entry, we need to go to 2 to 3 screens. But when it comes to the FB50, in single screen itself, we will post the general entry. We don't want to go another screen and all. In this screen itself, we will post the general entry. Again, in the real time, so by using FB50 only, we will post the general entries. So here I need to change my company code. So now you can observe. So from this point, so we will expect 3 to 4 errors also when we posted the general entry. So usually we will expect 3 to 4 errors, especially the universal ledger error. So that error we will expect commonly. So we will see how that error we need to resolve it. So here I need to mention the today date as my posting date, sorry, document date, and posting date also I changed it into today date. Okay. And my currency is INR, and here I didn't maintain any reference number, and I didn't maintain any document header test, and I didn't maintain any cross company code number. See, already I told you, so in SAP, whenever we maintain anything, so this fields is not mandatory fields. If this field is a mandatory field, obviously there is a tick mark in the field, correct? See, for example, if I removed this currency, so even the currency is also not a mandatory field. But if I removed this one, so the document is the mandatory field. So if I didn't maintain this document date, the system will throw the error. Okay. So now I need to select my document date, and here I need to give my GL account, and in my this one, so I am selected rent GL account, and later I selected the HDFC Bank GL account as well. This is the debit and this is the credit. So here you can find out the debit and credit indicator. And here I mentioned the amount was 12,000. Okay. And apart from these options, you can see we have many options in the GL account posting. We can see here many options. So if you want to maintain cost center to the rent related cost center, we will maintain here. And if it is a business area wise, you can maintain your business area. So if you want to maintain the sales order behind this so and so kind of setting, so and so the entry posting, we will maintain the sales order. So likewise, we have n number of options, the profit center and partner profile and the WBS element and fund center, commitment, fund, grant. So we can see n number of options. Okay. So you can see here we have n number of options. See, basically in real time, so based on the general entry, so we will maintain some more options also here in the real time. It's again, it's completely based on the business requirement. Okay. But for our simple understanding and for our simple entry posting, so I don't want to maintain any values. So now I will try to post this entry. Okay. This is the option where I can post this entry. So if I click the post this entry, so check the document date in future. So today date is 26, right?
Yeah, maybe is it
Yes.
the right form?
Yeah, even
EDMM by your
yeah. So no problem. The system is allowed. So just I need to click on enter. And here I need to give this value date field as mandatory. The system is showed. So an entry is required in value date field for account 1,80,000. How the system is throwed this error? This is the error. See, basically in
we set it
SAP,
as a
so
mandatory thing. When
yeah,
configuring, we set
exactly,
it as a mandatory thing.
exactly. See, in SAP, basically we have three type of message types. A red color means error, and yellow color means warning, and green color means successful, right? So when the system throw the error, it means you are unable to save this entry. There is no option. The system is not posted the entry. Clear? And if it is warning, so then the system earlier, so the system throw the warning. So it is showing some the posting date in future. So that is the warning. When I click enter, the system is allowed this dates, right? So now the system is asked the value date for field account so and so. This is mandatory. How this system will throw this error based on this setting. So I will show you the importance of this setting. Earlier we did this one. Where is my field status variant? Here. So if I go to the OBC4, okay, and here my field status variant is K100. So inside the K100, I need to go to field status group. And now, did you remember or not, when I created the rent GL account, which field status group I entered earlier? So I need to go to FS00. And here, this is the bank GL account. And here, which field status group I maintained? G
G
double
double.
zero 05, right? So then
Which is the
I will,
bank accounts.
yeah. So then I will go to the G005. I need to double click here. So in this one, so the blue highlighted lines means there is some entries in optional or required. And if it is a black color, it means there is no options in optional field and the required field. It means these are all fields are suppressed only. If you see here, the two are suppressed only. If I open taxes, now you can see all fields are suppressed only. So any field which is in optional or which is in required, it is in blue highlighted color. So now you can see in general data. So we maintain the assignment number and text number as optional. Okay. So it means optional entry also, that is our choice. If I want to maintain some data, I will maintain. Otherwise, I can leave it. So in additional account assignment, so the business area they maintain as a required entry. Oh, so we don't put a required entry. So I am putting into optional entry. Otherwise, the system will throw one more error. So I need to go here and one more time. And now you can see the value date is what is the option we selected earlier in G005. So this is the standard only we copied from some other field status variant, right? So now you can see the value date is a required field. So it means without we entered this value date field, so we are unable to save our general entry. That is the importance of
No.
field status group.
Yeah.
Okay, is it
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
So
It
now
will not
I
allow
need
us
to,
to move forward.
yes. So now I need to maintain my value date as 25. So I need to give 26. So 12, 20, 2024. Okay. So now I will try to post one more time. Now I will try to click on save. And now you can see earlier I changed the business area setting, right? So it is not reflected
Yeah.
in the system. So no problem. I will select some standard business area. Okay, this is the standard business area. So now I will click on save. So now you can see the system is able to save the general entry. Oh my God. So we got some above syntax error, the above programming error, the system is thrown, but this is the unexpected error. So we will do one more time, the general entry.
What does that mean, above error?
Uh, See, for example, currently we are using this server, right? So
Mm.
in this server, the ABAP is working some program. So
Okay.
he wants to change some standard program, or if any one ABAP is opened which is related to our entry posting program, so the system will throw the above syntax error. Okay,
Okay.
so that time we are unable to post the general entries. So
Mhm.
now I will maintain 25/11/2024, and the GL account is 2,70,000. So here, what is the rent account? Okay. And here I need to select 1,80,000. This is the debit and this is a credit, and 12,000, 12,000. Value date I need to give today date, and even the business area also we got the error, right? So where is that business area? Here the business area I need to give the some standard business area. Now I will try to post the general entry one more time. Oh, okay. So now we got this above syntax error. Now component exists with the name. And even if I want to debugger this mode, what is the problem? Standard layout. If I go to desktop one, all function G underscore BEP reset original mapping. I think someone is changed the standard program. Line number 8, we have one issue. Okay. I think someone is try to change some changes in this program. So
Oh,
yeah. So this is the functionality. What we can see, the developers will maintain the code like this. Okay, so this is the ABAP debugger mode. So if I want to see the watch point, so this is the program. So did you observe not earlier? So we got the syntax error, the error with this program only. But why we got this? Even we don't have any authorization to change. So the package is these things and all done by the ABAPers. Okay, we don't worry. But I have some somehow I have some knowledge in ABAP also.
mm.
That's the reason I will try to resolve this issue. But where is my package MBK? So, BK it is showing vendors. Okay. Okay, so maybe this one I will check with my server provider. So
Okay.
actually, some program is some developer is try to change this call function. So that's the reason it
Mm.
is showing clearly this is the breakpoint set. Okay.
Okay.
So I think the developer needs to change something here. If I go to the okay, I don't want to change. Even if I want to change something also, I don't have complete access. So again, we
Mm.
got some issue. So you can see this is the program only. Just now I showed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There
Got
is
it.
a some so there is some program to be terminated. So because some statement that could not be executed in include 21 of program in line 21 of the program. What is this program? So I need to go to SC38 and The program is not an executable program. Why? So actually, the system is said there is a issue with this program, some 21 line.
Hmm.
So you can see this is the person, the user ID 251040. So he changed something earlier. The last person change included. Okay, so this
Okay.
one I need to take this snap tool.
Any reason why they do that? Normally, I'm saying like while
Uh,
practicing, we basically configure things or post things. So they go
yeah,
into the
but
program side and
but the thing is, see, when we used this pre edition, the educational server also, so we are unable to post some entries in Fiori app side or in purchase order side or in sales order side that time. So we are unable to post some entries. So that time, what we need to do, we need to change some settings in the standard program itself. So that thing only done by this user ID. So 251040 and correct the error by running a syntax executed program. You can also run the syntax. So this one only I tried, but the system will not allow me.
mm,
This is the standard program. So the thumb rule is we don't change the standard program, but someone is changed the standard program. So if someone is changed the standard program, then we are unable to post the entries.
mm.
251040. Okay. So then we will see tomorrow. So I need to resolve this problem. So again, it will take time. We will
Sure.
see the entry posting tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
So
Sure,
even in
sure,
your
Guru.
side also,
Okay.
if you do thing same, you also got same this error. So the above syntax error.
Mm,
So we will see tomorrow. So just we
Okay.
created today the GL master data. We are unable to post the general entry, and tomorrow we will see the general entry posting.
sure,
Okay.
sure. Done.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for
Thanks, Gokul.
joining today's
Thank you.
session.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Tomorrow
Yeah.
9 p.m., right? Same time.
Yes. Yes. Yes.